I mean, there's just days where I'm so like burnt out or like just like overwhelmed, sensory overload. And there's 3 of them and the dog and the cat, and we're in the house and it's loud. And the worst days are just when that is just like at peak. Like I haven't had a break. It's at peak, just overload. And they're also at overload. I have kind of like a happy music playlist. And when we're all just kind of at that point, we just put the music on and, you know, dance and act silly. And sometimes the kids hate it. They're like, Mom, you're so embarrassing. But then it kind of just like brings everybody out of the being cranky and back to being silly.
Easy pregnancies. I enjoyed being pregnant. It was easy for me. After birth with my first, I suffered with some postpartum depression, and so I worried about that with my second, but he was an easy pregnancy, delivery, and postpartum, so I was really fortunate. We also had our first like right before the recession. So, you know, we went through a lot of financial change during that time, and I was terrified to bring another child into the world during something so tumultuous. But definitely the fear of not connecting with the child or losing that connection with my older son definitely played a role.
Well, a little bit unexpected with Savannah. I was still in college, so that obviously wasn't like the most planned trip to motherhood, but I will say that definitely like looking back, I wish I would have had like more kids like younger. I was just able to like do things a little easier. Obviously like going to school and finishing with a newborn like wasn't like the easiest thing to do. I still graduated and did everything, but yeah, it was like maybe not like the most like planned thing, but it worked out.
When I was still working full time as a television news reporter here in Tampa, and you know, he was very busy with his job as a lawyer, always had trials, I was always working, and I thought, oh, first kid, it'll take a while, I'm older, right, it'll take a while, and we got pregnant pretty quickly. And it also resulted in a lot of massive change in my life professionally that I wasn't completely prepared for. You know, it's like you go through the pregnancy and you're like, oh, I still had a year or 2 left on my contract at the station. And I was like, oh, I'll be able to go back. This will be easy. Just hire someone to take care of my baby and, you know, I can go back to work and everything is going to be fine. And then 12 weeks comes up, my boss calls and trying to get ready to get back to work. And it's like, I just couldn't do it. And all of a sudden I realized I was letting go of this career that I have sacrificed so much for and invested so much into. But at the same time, I had this little baby who needed me to be there.
I was laid off from this organization that I work, that I love so much, because of they cut a position, and this is 2017. I thought at that time I was in the peak of my career, and oh my God, they saw me crying. I had to pull over in the side of the 275, and I just went back to my car and I hugged my kids, and they said, Mommy, why you're crying? You know, being honest with kids. I don't sell them dreams and unicorns. You need to fight. You know, illness will touch your life, struggles, but I want them, I hope that I will not lose my cool dealing with situations. And I want my kids to be a decent people that will connect, and they will think about me as someone that connect other people. Time is too precious, and I learned in my struggle that the motivation was my kids.
With her, I just feel like her being a girl, that alone is a little scary for me. I've dealt with like sexual, you know, yeah, when I was younger. So my mom has as well. So that's kind of like something that both of us go through, where we're like, we're gonna look at her and make sure none of that happens to her. We're both like overprotective. That has kind of changed how I look at just bringing up a girl, because now I know.